Welcome back and welcome in, and congratulations are in order for the new IBF lightweight champion, Vasiliy Lomachenko, who stopped George Kambosos Jr. in the 11th round of tonight's fight. This fight went pretty much as expected. Lomachenko just dominated from the start of the fight all the way to the stoppage in the 11th round. Kambosos was always game. He's always willing to fight, but there are just levels to this. As I did mention in the preview video, um, he's just not on that level. He's not an elite level fighter. He doesn't have an elite level skill. And Lomachenko definitely is an elite level fighter, and he proved that tonight. This win puts him back as a champion. This win puts him in line to kind of call his own shots. In terms of what's next for Lomachenko, it could be a Shakur Stevenson showdown, provided he wins his next fight, and provided he also re-signs with Top Rank as he is on his last fight on his deal. Tank Davis had tweeted out during the fight that Lomachenko was next after he finished with Frank Martin. That fight might be a little bit difficult to get together, as that's Top Rank versus PBC, and they don't typically do business with one another. The most likely event, the most likely fight that happens next for Lomachenko is probably Emmanuel Navarrete. That should be fairly easy, as he's also a top ranked fighter. And I think, listening to the commentators and watching the pre-fight and listening to Lomachenko, I think his main goal is to be undisputed unified champion at 135. Um, so he might not avoid, but might not run into some of those other fighters who would be marquee matchups in terms of name power, but don't have a title, which would essentially kind of derail him from what it seems like he's on a quest to do. Can't really knock him for that. In regard to George Kambosos Jr., what's next for him? Unfortunately, I think this concludes his reign at the quote unquote top, or being at the elite level of fighters. He just does not have a skill or talent other than his toughness that can truly keep him not only at this level, but at this level winning. All these guys here at this level are extremely tough. All these guys here are extremely skilled, technical, they carry power. And Cambosis just doesn't have any of that. He, bless his heart, has a chin on him. He's got a warrior spirit, but he just does not have the tools necessary to beat the elite fighters. I had mentioned in the preview show, yes, he has a win over Teofimo Lopez. Can't take anything away from that, but there might be a little bit more to that fight than just a simple win. I think Top Rank will always be able to sell you on his name and the fact that he's a former unified champion, but I doubt that he will be fighting for gold anytime soon. Um, Unfortunate, he has a great story, and he can rest his head on the fact that he is a former undisputed unified champion in an era with truly talented fighters. In the era of Haney and Teofimo and Vasily and Shakur's coming up and Tank, he can say that he was a unified champion in that era. So, shout out to him on that one. But as for Vasily, I look forward to seeing what Loma's next fight is going to be. Um, like I mentioned before, he does have options, and all those options have exciting outcomes in terms of fight quality. I don't think any of those fights that I have mentioned before would be boring. Perhaps the Shakur fight, only because Shakur is all defense and just hasn't shown the ability to put together the offense with it at a high stage at an important fight. But he's still young, and perhaps fighting Loma brings out that offensive side in him, which we know is there, but he just kind of seems to be resting himself on his defense. But it was a one-sided fight overall. Just to recap tonight, no surprise, Loma by blowout. He stopped him in the 11th round with just high volume. It was a true beatdown. Honestly, it was a very uncompetitive fight. I think that's the right word for it. A non-competitive fight. There we go. It's late. It was a very non-competitive fight, and kind of played out the way that we knew it would, but entertaining nonetheless. And once again, shout out to Vasily, the Matrix Lomachenko, who is once again champion at 135 pounds. And I think this is the first step on his quest to be unified champion.